Hello, in this video, I am going to be doing the doors system for FNAF. I have created a small room to place the doors in, just a placeholder security room. Here is an overview. The technique used is from one of my other video using mouse interaction. On to the tutorial. Create a folder for our security buttons. Create a blueprint actor. This is our master interactable button. This actor can have children that controls the door or the lights. We just need a static mesh component to be our button. Our static mesh can just be a cube for now unless you have your own model. I am going to scale it down to around 0.2, and then go to the event graph, delete the events here. We need to make two custom events for switch on, and switch off. You can ignore that I wrote closed and opened on it. That was a reminder for me when doing the doors to know that when the button is on, the door is closed. Anyway, go to the top and call the event begin play. Here, we need to get the player controller, and set enable click events to true. This is the same as the video I did earlier. Now go a bit down and call the event actor on clicked, drag from the button press and make sure that it is clicked to the left mouse button, but that is optional. I just want to use my left mouse button. Next, we need to get a branch. On true, we can add code. Now I was stupid and forgot to add a flip-flop. Add a flip-flop on true, then add the switched on and switched off. I fix this later in the video. Anyway, this is when I renamed my events to just switched on and switched off. I also want to make sure that when we start the game, the doors are opened and the lights are off. So on this begin play, I call the switch off function. Now in the content browser, right-click your button actor and create child classes. One for the door button, and one for the light. In this video, we are only working on the door. I am now going to just organize a bit, create a folder for interactable objects, and put the buttons folder in there. In the interactable objects folder, create a blueprint actor for the doors itself. Name it a door BP and then open it. Search for a static mesh, to be the door. Make it a door mesh, or a cube. I will size it up in the map. So go into the map for where you want to place the doors, and put the doors there. I will size mine up, so the doors are put in both places. I can then put in the buttons. First the door button, we can fix the positions later on after we test the game. For now, the code. Open up the door button. Delete the events except the begin play. Right-click and search for event switched off and on. It should give you the red custom event. We will also need a variable to say which door this button controls. Make the variable type BP door and click the I to set instance editable to true. On the event graph, we need a timeline to control the sliding door. We can then get the door to control variable and get the door mesh. We can then set relative location. We want to then have a lerp vector to smoothly go between 2 points. Double-click to open up the timeline, and then add a float track. The track name can be alpha. The length is how fast you want the door to move. I put it at 0.2. I can then shift plus left mouse click to add a keyframe, and set this as 0,0. Next one being 0.2 and the value as 1. After that is done, the timeline has a new output. Connect lerp alpha to that. Now, this may require a few tests for you, but I have a value for myself as -100. Now, we can use the switched on and off events to play the timeline. Drag out the door timeline variable and call the play event. And call the reverse for the switched on event. Now compile, go to the main map, and on those buttons, you have to assign the right doors. After that, then you can test it. For you it should work. For me, I forgot the flip-flop, so I go back to my interactable button to fix it. I then test, and it works. I now want to make the materials for the button. A simple emissive green and red. First I am going to create a master material to make material creation easier. The first one will be a 3 constant, which is a vector parameter for color. Next, you can right-click and search for scalar for a scalar value. You can write metallic, roughness, specular. Apply, save, and then duplicate material. Next one will just have emissive in it. You can do a multiply, and then emission. The output connecting to emissive color. You can even search in the details panel for emissive settings to make true, apply, save, and then right-click the asset and create a material instance for emissive green and red or whatever your on and off colors will be. Now, we can go back to our events in our interactable door switch button. Remember the door child one, not the master. Anyway, in the events, just do a set material for the mesh, and select the green or red materials, as you want. You can compile and save, and you can test to see if have a working door system. If there are problems, comment below, and consider subscribing and sharing. See you next time.